following podcast is set for at least 1 hour. Introducing your hosts from Fort Worth, Texas, at a total combined weight of 430 pounds, Kevin and Chris Newell. The Cross Promo Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm Kevin.
And I'm Chris.
We are the Cross Promo Pro Wrestling Podcast. Welcome to our new setup. How's everybody doing? So yeah, we got OBS now. So now we're live streaming. Hope everybody enjoyed Raw. That was
We got answers for the stuff that happened at Mania.
yeah, we sure did.
Check our notes. A lot of stuff happened. Returns.
A whole lot of stuff. Hang on before you get going. I got my notes over here too. Give me a second. Knucklehead. Okay. There are my notes. Got it. There we go. So, April 21st edition of Monday Night Raw came to us from the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. Just 24 hours removed from Monday Night Raw. Or, I'm sorry, WrestleMania. I'm still recovering from that.
He really is.
I really am. It's been an interesting weekend. So, Chris, go right on ahead.
So he started off Raw with Cena in the ring. And he did the same walk to the ring as last appearance at Mania, and he had this little note in like a pocket of his, and he gave it to I'm guessing it was the ring announcer for Raw, and he had him read from that, and something about a cut announcement, and then he also started counting down like days he has left, appearances. He specified
36.
Yeah, and then the number he ended up with, like remaining appearances, was 27.
Right.
He also ended up saying some things, as a lot of these champions do, about how he's pretty much the best. And as he was bragging and all that, guess who came out?
Randy Orton.
It was Randy Orton, yeah.
Randy Orton coming out and
RKO to John Cena. Which made us happy, so.
Well, definitely made us
we
happy.
Enjoyed that.
I mean, it just means John Cena did say there's not anyone in the locker room that is strong enough to beat me, And there's only one other guy I can think of other than CM Punk and Roman Reigns that could beat him, and that was
when you make yourself,
Randy Orton.
When you try to sell yourself like a legend, prepare for the legend killer.
Yeah, exactly. So first match of the night, of course, it was a WrestleMania rematch of Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch, who returned last night and won the tag titles the night before. They put them up on the line against Judgment Day's Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan. There was no interference from the Judgment Day, surprisingly. No interference from Dominic. Of course, the slam, you had a note here, Lyra slamming Raquel.
Was not expecting that from her.
Really? Okay. Well, then next up you had, you had Lyra and Becky losing.
Yeah.
They lost the titles. They had the titles for like 24 hours.
Yeah.
So, losing the titles, but then immediately you had...
that could be cause for what Becky did next. I think that, yeah.
Yeah, Becky went on ahead and attacked...
Becky crashed out.
Yeah, she crashed out, attacked
That's her new name.
Lyra. And it could just be a setup for Becky and Lyra Intercontinental title. And then
It could
also
be.
I mentioned with Becky turning heel, she could be joining Seth and Paul Heyman.
Look, it does look like he's starting his own sort of team faction type thing. Well, more on
But
that later.
more on that to come.
Yeah.
Chris, you have got the next one.
We had the New Day coming out talking about their tag victory, their tag match victory, and their new title that they got at WrestleMania. And while you had them talking how they were the best tag team that ever was, not to quote the whole thing there,
Right.
but during that you had Alpha Academy come out, and you had Maxine Dupree, talking about how their group Alpha Academy had managed to beat them in under a minute, and then there was a challenge for a match. New Day turned it down. Maxine called them Minutemen, and that changed their mind.
That was the funny thing.
Kind of wondering if that's going to become a new chant employed against them,
Right.
which would be funny. But so after that, they changed their minds and the match started. Sort of. The bell didn't even ring, and you had Rusev come back, or Miro in AEW. And the New Day got out of the ring, but Rusev still attacked and went after the members of Alpha Academy. I'm thinking we could see a Otis versus Rusev match, or Rusev versus Dragunov match in the future.
Very much so. It's actually quite possible. Hang on here.
What are your thoughts on that sort of match? You think it'd be cool to see either one of them?
Otis? Well, I don't know.
Not so sure about Otis versus Rusev.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about Otis versus
But
Rusev.
Dragunov versus Rusev.
Yeah.
That would be good.
So following that, they had Io Sky came out to do a promo with her victory over the triple threat tag match, which was successful. Immediately after, she got visited none other by Stephanie Vakir. And Vakir came out. She said she respectfully gives her congratulations on the victory and everything. And immediately that asked for a...
I didn't know we were doing open challenges.
well, it wasn't really an open challenge. Just wanted to have a one-on-one match. I guess
It was a good match, though.
It was a good match. I thought it was from bell to bell.
Well,
well,
bell to sort of bell.
Bell to sort of bell.
It ended in DQ. So
Yeah. Then immediately, because you had Roxanne Perez come out and jump Stephanie Vakir because they have a NXT Women's Title match on NXT tomorrow. Then you had Julia come out and attack Stephanie Vakir as well. But then out came Rhea Ripley,
kind of break things up.
scared off Julia, kind of threw Roxanne Perez and headbutted Roxanne Perez, and gave the title to Io Sky and said, "I'm coming back for that." And then not only that, she had a black eye.
You
Rhea
pointed
Ripley
that
did.
out, yeah.
Yeah, on her
Left
eye, I believe it was.
It was.
Yeah.
Her left, our right, I think.
What else happened, Chris?
After that, you had Jey Uso come out talking about his championship win, and he said he's going to be showing up weekly. We could see open challenges come out of that. Could not. I'm not sure yet. I'm thinking it's going to be open challenges. Then you had Sammy come out, and we both thought something was off. Jey Uso was also... He looked kind of tense during that. And, of course, you had Sammy doing, congratulations. They yeeted. But the thing is, Sammy stopped mid-yeet. And he also kind of seemed to get ready to jump Jay. But then Jimmy came out. And we also noticed that he kind of looked irritated during that.
He did.
When Jimmy came out.
he did.
Nothing else happened. Like, nobody got jumped or no fighting started,
No.
but it was kind of weird.
Yeah, it really was. I honestly thought that Jay was going to get jumped by Sammy, because where's Sammy been this past several times? You know,
He's been out for a while, I think.
been out for quite a while, actually.
I want to say since maybe the Civil War games, Bloodline thing.
Yeah,
I want to. I think anyway.
yeah. I'm looking at the notes here.
AJ and Karrion.
Ah, there we are. I have to scroll up a little bit. All right. So next up, we had. Nope, there it is. AJ Styles having a promo right after a post-match video backstage that showed Logan Paul doing an interview and saying, you know, I got the win, ha ha ha, kind of thing, because, you know,
It's Logan Paul.
It's Logan Paul. Then was asking AJ. AJ said, you know what, I'm just going to take the loss here and move on. But then Karrion Kross came on and was very visibly upset. And Kross saying, you know, losing to Logan Paul makes Logan legitimate. And earlier and later on, I'm going to say in a news as we go over the news, Karrion Kross not feeling too 100% on Logan Paul, which is making Karrion Kross one of my favorite guys now. So then AJ is like, I don't understand why you want me to be that guy again, because I never liked him, that version of AJ Styles. You know,
He was in a bad place mentally and all that.
Exactly. And tells Kross, if you want to be angry at the world, do it somewhere else. And Karrion was like, okay.
And then they went to commercial break, and because we don't pay for the ad-free version of Netflix.
Yeah, we enjoyed the commercials.
Some of them are funny.
Here or there.
And as soon as they get back, Gunther.
Right.
And it starts off with him kind of messing with commentary, and then he attacks both Pat and Cole.
Yeah.
Which led to Pat trying to...
Camera's right there.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that one. Which led to Pat trying to stop the fighting there. And then you had his friends from his podcast and everything jump
from his show, from the Pat McAfee show. They jumped the barricade.
Security got involved, but didn't really do much to stop Pat from getting choked or put in a chokehold and passing out. And apparently Cole got attacked too, but he decided to return to commentary after that anyway, with Joe Tessitore.
Right. And then Cole and Joe Tessitore just repeating themselves, saying, we're not going to be bullied as commentators.
We do not condone this attack.
We don't condone this attack. We're not going to stand for being attacked and being bullied by these guys. Because we have just as much to contribute as the talent here as well. We have much that we offer as well.
Yeah.
And something tells me down the line, there's something that's going to come to that, to where they're being up against, being attacked and everything. So looking forward to see what happens there. Next up, we had the first title defense for Dominic Mysterio, putting his Intercontinental Championship title on the line up against Penta. But Dominic had backup. Of course, he had Finn and Carlito at ringside, which was starting out to be a pretty good match. Las Vegas crowd completely on Dominic's side.
Which is weird, because normally they just boo him into silence.
Yeah, booed him into silence, cheered for Dom, and cheered for other people you wouldn't think that would be cheered either. But it happened.
There was also another return during that match, if I remember right.
That's right. J.D. McDonough coming back and assisting and helping Dominic. And lo and behold, Dominic retains with 3 amigos and a 5-star frog splash.
Another thing, just remembered, for most of that and like before that with a little Judgment Day promo earlier on, you had Finn visibly trying to not appear upset, you know?
He's obviously upset.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see it. You can see that he's upset. You can't blame him for being upset.
And even during the match, we thought he was going to sabotage Dominic at some point.
Right.
At least that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you guys are watching at home, I know we're streaming on YouTube and Kick right now. We had some technical difficulties with Twitch and Instagram, but we'll get those worked out hopefully by tomorrow. But if you are watching right now, put into the comments. We'll be able to read your comments here live. And
Twitch is working too. It looks like, I think.
Twitch is working?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, Twitch is working. Probably Instagram too.
Yeah, I'm not going to mess with Instagram.
I'd have to look at Instagram too, but it's our first time streaming live of our podcast visibly, so you guys can see us now instead of just hearing us on audio. But put it into the comments what you guys thought if you did see Raw tonight.
I just realized I forgot Sacco.
You forgot Sacco? Let him rest a couple more days.
Yeah.
So, moving right along. We thought the night was over, but we completely forgot.
We really did.
Seth and Paul Heyman were coming out. And, there was a lot of boos towards
There was.
towards Paul Heyman, but a lot of people singing Seth's theme.
As usual.
Singing along as usual. And, Seth then just quietly said, I am a revolutionary, I am a visionary, and then out comes CM Punk, taping up his hand, getting ready to run.
Hand tape up.
Yep, and ran to the ring, started having a fist fight with Seth. Was about to go for Paul, but then Seth came and eye gouged Punk, beat him up and kicked him out of the ring. Well, not kicked him out of the ring just yet, just started beating him up.
And then Roman, like his entrance music started, and for a minute I thought it was like a fake out, you know?
Yeah.
You know how they do that.
Oh, yeah.
But then you had him throw Punk out of the ring, and I'll let you finish up. I kind of cut you off, sorry.
No, that's okay. This is like the final thing that happened, the closing of Raw, so, just want to know, our opinions on it. Well, then immediately, Roman spears Seth. Superman punches Paul. Is about to spear Seth. Then all of a sudden, out comes Braun Breaker and spears Roman. And now we have now realized Seth and Braun Breaker have now joined forces with Paul Heyman as their manager, as their man. And it just leaves to wonder who all else is he wanting to invite in, And like I said,
you think he's starting up a new Shield or his own version of the
He could be
Bloodline?
starting up his own faction again. And I say again because at one point he did have
The Shield?
not the Shield. It was another one where he came off as like a wrestling Jesus or something, Not CM Punk's version of wrestling Jesus, but the one where he had Buddy Murphy and Austin Theory as his apostles or whatever. But he could be putting together his own faction, and that's where I think Becky could be joining him. Because Becky's heel, Seth's heel, Braun Breaker's definitely heel. Why not? But it was a good way to close out. Well, actually, no, I wouldn't say they're done in Las Vegas. They got, no, they are done in Las Vegas because SmackDown is going to be coming here to our very own backyard here in the good old Fort Worth, Texas. If you haven't figured out where we're from. We're from Fort Worth.
What?
Stop. But That pretty much sums up Monday Night Raw.
Also, Cody lost the undisputed belt to John Cena.
You are not dropping that name, are
No, I'm going to.
you?
Cause
Undisputed.
yeah,
Jeez. Okay.
because they had another match to make it sure it was no longer disputed of which belt was the real belt. So because of the thing with Kevin Owens,
Right.
so undisputed.
Is that you kicking my chair?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
The cat's got back out. I don't think Marigold
I
went
thought you
back.
were kicking my chair for a second. Or the cat was messing with my chair. So yeah, if you're here watching, I see some people are watching. We're live. Go ahead. Put in the comments what you guys thought about Raw tonight. Put in the comments also what you thought about WrestleMania. You know, we'll briefly talk about it before we go into news. I thought it was a really good WrestleMania. There are a few fans, quite a few fans, that didn't like it, and they want Triple H to step down as CEO, was a CFO or CCO or whatever. They want him to step down, basically.
CEO.
No, don't start. But they want him to
You're the
step.
one that said CEO.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not giving her that satisfaction. But a lot of people are wanting him to step down because they thought it was a terrible WrestleMania. On personally, my personal opinion, I thought it was great up till and the match with John Cena and Cody Rhodes. It the way it went, it was just Cena barely wrestling, and then
I ended up getting hungry during that match, so I missed part of it. But
when you came back, nothing changed.
yeah, it looked like John Cena was in control for pretty much all of that.
The majority of the match, and then Cody was starting to rally up and go after John, and then all of a sudden, you know, then you have Travis Scott come down for
some reason.
For some reason, I mean,
It's
his
not-
song is a part of the main theme of WrestleMania, but
I
of
mean,
course
it's not
they
like
have to. What?
it's not like he had to help Cena get the advantage again.
No, because Cena won with a nut shot and a title and a title belt to the head after Cody kicked out of 4 attitude adjustments
Oof.
and forced his way out of 2 STFs, or as Cena likes to call them now, STFUs. You put your abbreviation in there. We're not going to do that for y'all because you already know. You're intelligent people. Come on. So, personally, my opinion, I enjoyed the WrestleMania. Match of the night tonight. Who do you have?
Probably gonna say the one with Io Sky and Vakir.
Okay, so that is going to be your match of the night. I'm going to have to go with that one too because that one was a real physical match. I liked what they did. So that's going to be up on they're the very first candidate of our return of them being match of the week. And then if they hang out to be match of the week, then they got to compete for match of the month. Then after they compete for match of the month, and if they get match of the month, then they got to compete for match of the year. So, got a long ways to go. So we'll see.
Also,
I agree with you on that. So, Io Sky and Stephanie Vakir.
but if you guys have a different match of the week or match of the month or anything like that, go ahead and let us know either in the comments.
Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments.
Or,
wherever, whichever direction they're in.
Yeah, it changes from platform to platform and stuff
Also,
like that.
if you guys...
Also, the Discord or email. Those are 2 other ways.
Oh, yeah, we do have a Discord. You just got to look for us, Cross Promo Pro Wrestling Podcast, or Cross Promo Pro Wrestling Show. You can look
crosspromopod@gmail.com is the email.
and that's our email. You can find us on we're still on TikTok, even though I know we're not live on TikTok right now, but
We'll figure something out.
we'll figure something out to where we could be for the time being. Maybe soon, maybe later, who knows. Then after that, see, we also have we have merch. That's if you go to our YouTube. If you're on our YouTube, you go to our homepage. There is a website there that links up to our merch. Check everything out there. You get shirts, hats, mugs. Looking at more stuff to put in there for us. Hats, yeah, definitely.
And hats.
And yeah, hats. I just said that.
Did you though?
Yes, I did. Then we also have a Patreon page. You can check us out there and just follow us there. We'll start to get the tiers and the layers and everything worked out there. We're still getting this thing rolling and getting this thing worked out. We spent most of our time getting this up with our setup because we've got, if you haven't seen from our TikTok videos or anything like that, we have 3 monitors we're working with. We've upgraded in a sense. Yeah, we got a bit of an upgrade. I mean, you saw the intro. But we are back. I'm happy to be back. You know, it was a while. It was because of personal reasons. A lot of things that had happened in January, but 3 months ago that took place that kind of killed, personally for me, killed my mojo on everything. Don't want to go into it and won't go into it because we already spoke on the matter. But it killed my mojo. I don't know about you. I mean, I
thought TikTok was going to get banned, so I feel like that would have kind of
killed our mojo too.
But we're streaming again, and we're not on TikTok, so
yeah. Well, I mean, we kind of still are. I mean, we're putting videos out and everything, but again, if you guys like what you see here, follow, subscribe, hit the like button, put in a comment, do what you can on these streaming services. Like I said, right now we're on Twitch.
I think, yeah.
We're live on Twitch. We're live on YouTube, and we are live on Kick. It's a new thing that we're trying is Kick, and
yep, we're on Twitch.
We're on Twitch. Okay. Chris, about why we had lost our mojo and everything. I mean, was that a personal reason for you?
I would say, yeah, it was.
Okay. Well, during our off time of recuperating and everything,
we froze him for a bit. Was it
well,
cold in there?
Before then,
oh yeah, that's
we
right.
went to a live wrestling event. It was here in Fort Worth. It was presented by VIP Wrestling.
It was cool.
It was Queen's Gambit, and it was Chris's first live wrestling event he ever went to. It was nothing but all women wrestling, but it was still a live event for him. Nonetheless, wrestling is wrestling. Doesn't matter the gender. Chris, go ahead and talk to them about your experience there.
The wrestling was good. I remember at one point we started a what chant, and that was fun, messing with that. Then I forget the name of the manager, but he had a mask.
Nastico.
Yes.
You loved Nastico.
Yeah, that was fun. He was fun to watch. You kind of interacted with a bit there too. Let's see. It was loud though. And
well, yeah, it's meant to be loud.
It was. Maybe not just because of the speakers, but yeah. Fun though, like the chanting and everything.
Yeah.
And then at the end, I remember they had us throw streamers or something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was like pyro, in a way.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, it was an enjoyable event for you. It was probably my. Oh, I can't remember. I think it's under 10. I've been to under 10 live wrestling events, of counting PCW, of course. Those were great wrestling events. PCW Professional Championship Wrestling. It used to be out by what was once the Six Flags Mall in Arlington. I can't remember the family. I can't remember the name of the family that ran it, but it was a family that ran it. It was if you know Lance Archer. He wrestled under a different name at that time. It was he wrestled under the name Shadow. And that's where he got his start, was PCW. You had some other guys that started out there. Off the top of my head, I can't remember, but Shadow is one of them. The other one is Steve DeMarco. I follow him on Facebook. He wished me a happy birthday.
Cool.
And I've greatly appreciated it.
I think you also said something about one where you saw Sammy Guevara and Austin Theory before they went to their...
Yeah, that was at VIP Wrestling, where I got to meet Thunder Rosa, get a photo with her. You can find these photos on Instagram, by the way, because we do have an Instagram. We have an Instagram, Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, and what was it, Discord? We have a Discord. We have YouTube. We've got TikTok. There's another one. What was that other app? I can't remember it. Threads. We have a Threads account as well, which is connected to our Instagram. So if you want to find us on any of those social media sites, feel free to find us. Message us. We'd like you guys to talk to us about wrestling. We love talking wrestling, and we love talking wrestling with other people. And yeah, some of our opinions may differ from others, but it doesn't mean we're not going to, hate you guys if we disagree. It just means, hey, we have different tastes in wrestling.
What if they like Logan Paul?
If they like Logan Paul, they like Logan Paul. Personally, me, I don't. I mean, yeah, he's a great... Okay, I'll now that you started this.
This seems to be
because we had this discussion earlier this morning.
I ended up getting him on this
he
subject
got me.
a lot.
He goaded me. He got me.
I really do, and it's funny sometimes.
So, my stance on Logan Paul, and I'm starting off the year, in a sense, we're starting off a new year with this. In the ring, he's a talented guy. He adapted quickly. Good in-ring performer. I'll give him that. Out of the ring, and what he's done prior to WWE and all that stuff, like the incident in Japan, that's where I started to not respect him as a human being.
And then just the endless string of controversy after that.
After that, yeah, it was just nothing but a downfall. Yeah. I don't drink Prime. Never will. In fact, I've actually sworn off of energy drinks now.
Not even Monsters?
Not even Monsters, no.
So it's nature.
I know, but with my medical conditions and everything, I can't be doing that. Not anymore. Especially if we're doing something which will be coming, I want to say, probably later on this week, which we're going to announce. Very excited for it. Don't have a graphic for it, but we will.
We'll get like a little...
We'll probably have a graphic for it by tomorrow.
We'll get a piece of paper and just scribble on it until it looks like something. I don't know.
No. But we'll have a graphic on it tomorrow. And it's a catchy, clever name we came up with. And I'm hope it benefits both you and I. So yeah, again, if you guys have any comments at all, please drop them in the comments. We'd love to hear from you guys that are just watching along. If you're watching, not just watching but listening, that's fine. You can listen to us too, and then you can message us later.
I mean, we are a podcast.
We are a podcast after all. So our podcast is going. This episode is going to be going up after we get done recording here, and we're hoping this is a new and this is a better turn for us. Oh no, I'm not doing that. Anyway, back to my whole thing about Logan Paul. okay, he's had so many matches, which is under 20 matches in the past 3-4 years. Won some, lost some. Got a championship.
I really haven't been keeping track.
I've had to, because I'm a statistician kind of person, which also will need to be getting back on track with the wins and losses, the televised wins and losses in a way. I just, when I see him, it's like, it's ridiculous. So, I mean, what I would want is for him to quit doing part-time. I know he's got a new kid and everything, and he's got this new reality show that he's doing with his family, but he needs to go full-time. Because he's not getting respect at all whatsoever. Because it's like, you're part-time and you're young. Guys like Cena, Rock, Undertaker, Stone Cold, those guys are part-timers. And that's perfectly fine because they paid their dues.
Yeah.
Guys like that. And I'm just naming a few.
He really is. He's got at least 2 different lists. They're on the list.
I've got so many. But if he were just to go full-time and actually put in more work than he has been, maybe there could be more respect for him.
Yeah.
But as of right now, no matter if he turns heel or face, it's no one's going to care for him. Because all that people are going to look at him as is a publicity stunt. That's all I'm saying. And I know I'm heavily opinionated and everything, and I haven't been in a wrestling ring, and I haven't ran a promotion. I get that. I'm not qualified to say things like that. But me personally, me as a fan, that's how I feel. I mean, your thoughts?
What, on Logan?
Yeah.
It was a good movie.
Not the movie.
The
movie.
That was a good movie. No, to be honest, I just don't really pay attention to him. Let's see. Like, even with the AJ Styles match, that's probably the one I think we paid the least attention to.
At WrestleMania, yeah.
Yeah.
Out of the matches, I mean, all were great, especially night 2. It was like,
Not to take anything from AJ Styles, but
I mean, AJ Styles paid dues.
yeah.
Went up through the independent circuit, and it took 15, 16 some odd years and got into WWE. Logan Paul got into WWE and has been wrestling for a certain amount of days, or a certain amount of years. And yeah.
Dear.
It's ridiculous. Of course, new champions were crowned. We've got new World Heavyweight Champion, Jey Uso. Happy about that. I was surprised they did that, and then they had Gunther tap out.
I was not expecting Gunther to tap at all.
Me neither.
Especially to a move that he uses all the time. I thought he would escape or something.
Yeah, me too. So really wasn't a big surprise for Jacob Fatu to win the United States Championship.
It's cool, though.
It was good. And then to have Haku there to congratulate him afterward.
Was not expecting the twist with the Roman Punk Seth match. Was not expecting that.
No. Really wasn't. What else? Of course, Dominic Mysterio winning the Intercontinental Championship. Wasn't expecting that at all. And wasn't expecting the crowd reaction that he got. All pops and people cheering him on.
I was not expecting the fan reaction either.
I wasn't expecting a whole
He
lot
went
of fan
from
reaction.
being booed out of arenas to suddenly being cheered.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because people think he's going to end up fighting Finn at some point.
Yeah. Wasn't expecting Becky to come back.
No.
Wasn't expecting Becky and Lyra to win the tag belts. Wasn't expecting John Cena to win.
really was not thinking John Cena was going to win. Especially because even when he came out to the ring, I was thinking, yeah, he's going to lose. But no, he won.
He won, surprisingly. And in the manner in which the match went, wasn't too keen on it, but hey, if it's to build a story, then that's fine.
The good news is, though, now we're going to get him going against Randy.
I mean, it's his retirement year, and him and Randy had one of the best rivalries. He can't have a rivalry with Edge because Edge is broken on AEW.
Yeah.
So why the hell not have one of his best rivalries with Orton, and then maybe later on his best rivalry with Punk, because that one I enjoyed. That was the one where everybody really started to see, you know what? Yeah, John Cena, yeah. Not really liking him being shoved down our throats. That was during the epic pipe bomb that CM Punk put on there.
I think CM Punk's kind of busy with his own rivalry right now.
I think so too, but
You think him and Roman are going to team up or nah?
I don't see them teaming up. I really
I don't
don't.
see them teaming up either. But
Roman is not the type to team up. Neither is Punk. What else? I'm trying to think of what else had happened at WrestleMania that was. I really can't think of anything else that jumps out at you when WrestleMania comes to mind.
Charlotte lost.
That was an interesting match.
I was thinking Charlotte was going to win and Cena was going to lose.
Okay. I was very surprised that it was Tiffany that came out with the win, and one hell of a match that she put on. She showed a lot of grit and showing that she wasn't just a pretty face. Saying that she can hang with the best of them. So this will be an interesting title reign for her, I think. And if she loses the title on Friday or at Backlash, that will be one of the greatest matches she has put on during her reign, I think, by far.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get on with some news here. Some of it was recapping Monday Night Raw.
Or spoiling Monday Night Raw.
One thing for sure, well, I can't pull up older news. Okay, here we go. John Cena got backing from James Gunn. James Gunn is the one that has
Guardians of the Galaxy James Gunn? Or?
yeah, that one, backing his WrestleMania win.
Huh.
What else is going on right now? AEW has announced what seems to be another pay-per-view. It's going to take place it's pretty soon, actually. Oh no, it's a special event for Dynamite. It's called Beach Break, taking place May 14th.
Not a pay-per-view, though.
Not a pay-per-view. It's going to take place at the Now Arena in Chicago, Illinois.
Hopefully they'll be careful not to falsely advertise it as a pay-per-view. Or confuse people.
Oh, yeah, like the whole thing with...
Yeah. I'm sure that a lot of people were upset about that one.
Yeah. Here's another surprise. Kathy Kelly, ring correspondent, interviewer. She has been seen training to wrestle at the Performance Center.
We'll have to see how that goes.
Definitely. Let's see. I'm trying to see. There were some other things. Here's an interesting one. I mean, Paul Heyman just went on the Pat McAfee show and just tore into fans and other wrestlers. He went off and said Braun Strowman, Paul Heyman saying Braun Strowman missed WrestleMania 41 because, quote, he sucks, end quote.
I think you showed me that clip.
Yeah, and here is what he said. Quote, you think Braun Strowman, who was literally crying that he's not at WrestleMania, and I tell him straight to his face, he's not on WrestleMania because he sucks. Did he get mad at me? No. He's rolling with the punches, end quote. He continues on saying, quote, you think Tony Hinchcliffe would get mad at me because I totally upstaged him on his own show and proved that it should be the Paul Heyman roast of WrestleMania and not the Tony Hinchcliffe roast of WrestleMania? No. And then, what else was here? The only person that really got upset was Gabriel Iglesias, who makes a living telling jokes and performing on panels. Heyman saying that Iglesias wanted to fight him on stage, saying, quote, but who gets mad at me? A professional roaster, a guy who makes his living telling jokes on panels, a guy who makes his living doing roasts is the one guy who got mad at me and wanted to fight me on stage. He's the one guy whose ass I guarantee I could kick. When Fluffy walks in a room, how do you know anything but the size of his fat ass?
Oof.
I mean, he addressed a lot on the Pat McAfee show.
He's not fat, he's fluffy.
Yeah. He even fired shots at Michael Cole, Vince McMahon, and AEW. He went on a really crazy rant.
Paul Heyman, Unhinged Edition.
Paul Heyman. What was it? Cole kicked things off with taking a jab at Paul Heyman, saying, I want to know how much Seth Rollins paid you to pull off what happened on Saturday night. Then Paul Heyman flipped the switch on Cole, saying about $1 less than Vince McMahon used to pay you to be JR's lackey. I'm sorry, were you going to the lowest bidder back then? Never saw you jump to WCW. And then Heyman didn't stop there. He says, I don't see you going to Jacksonville anytime soon.
Oh.
Then, Michael Cole confirming plans that he wasn't going to leave WWE. And then Heyman delivered just one more thing, saying, so you're staying with the highest bidder, right? So you're just like a streetwalker on Las Vegas Boulevard.
Oof.
Then he went on and started comparing CM Punk to Shannon Sharp when it came to ESPN, because the show was on ESPN. Saying CM Punk does as much good to my reputation as Shannon Sharp does to ESPN. Paul Heyman, now that he's away from Roman Reigns, is back. His mouth is back. I mean, was not pulling any punches during that interview at all. He went off on a fan.
That
saying,
was the clip you showed me.
Yeah, I showed you that this morning. He was saying, why I did it, because a fan asked him, why did you do it, Paul? And he says, just to personally tick you off. That was the whole reason.
For you personally.
For you personally. Now you do what your daughter should have done and keep your mouth shut.
That was unexpected.
That was unexpected. I'm telling you, ECW Paul Heyman is back. And he's not going to pull any more punches. I, for one, I'm excited for it. It was a heck of a WrestleMania weekend, kicking off on Friday with SmackDown and then the Hall of Fame. Of course, you had Triple H, the headliner, going into the
Stone
Hall of
Cold
Fame.
showed up at WrestleMania.
Stone Cold showed up at WrestleMania crashing his ATV. You're jumping subjects.
Yeah, I just remember.
Don't
he
be
was,
jumping
I just
subjects,
remember
man.
he was at the show too. I
Yeah.
was like, wait a minute, he was in the same area. He did that. We thought he was going to interfere for Cody, but he didn't. He just did like the crowd announcement thing. That's all Stone Cold did.
Yeah. Yeah, just announcing how many people. It was like booking night 1 and night 2. You had over 160,000 plus people there, which was pretty good. 60,000 on both nights.
Stone Cold
Give or
counted
take.
them himself.
He count them one at a time.
He probably would have been there all night.
No, then I mean, it was an exciting week or weekend for WrestleMania. An exciting week for WWE. Now we're just on a whole new week for wrestling, and
Seeing where things go from here.
I mean, it's already starting off exciting. You know, you got Rusev that's back. You've got who I think Aleister Black or Malachi Black coming back to SmackDown. Lord knows what's going to happen on SmackDown on Friday here in Fort Worth.
You think we're going to hear anything from Cody?
We probably will. We'll
Or you think we're
definitely
going to hear more from Orton?
we'll probably hear from both. We'll probably hear from
Cena.
we probably won't hear from Cena.
No, probably not. Yeah,
'Cause
because he's counting his appearances.
He's counting his appearances. He's only got 36 of them, and he's not even halfway through the year. And he'll probably only pop up, probably have like a Roman Reigns kind of schedule. You yawning over there?
Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
Back to yawning again. So, what else happened? The Hall of Fame, you had Lex Luger getting inducted and stood up. Got up from his wheelchair and was able to stand up the whole entire time he did his speech. I don't know how long his speech was, but he stood up there. Of course, you had the natural disasters, earthquake and typhoon
Then you
get inducted.
then you had the WrestleMania moment thing. That's what I was talking about with
Bret Hart and Stone Cold Steve Austin. CM Punk inducted them. It's a new thing. They did away with, I noticed, with the Warrior Award that they were giving out. It was like a dedication thing almost to Ultimate Warrior, and they just stopped giving it out, I guess. Who knows? Then, of course, you had the statue unveiling of Triple H for joining the Hall of Fame. You had a bust of Bret Hart and Stone Cold Steve Austin, and it was split down the middle. It's pretty interesting. What else? Had a lot of celebrities there. You had George Kittle, you had Jelly Roll, you had Gabriel Iglesias was there. Vanessa Hudgens, if you're a High School Musical fan, she was there. Can't think of who else. But
yeah, I don't take note of the celebrities.
I don't take note of much celebrities. A lot of rappers were there, musicians. Had a lot of UFC
Travis
fighters
Scott
there.
was there.
Travis Scott was there. Everybody knows Travis Scott was there. There was someone else. Dana White. With it being Las Vegas, he was there, representing UFC. A few UFC fighters, a few actual professional boxers were there, and they did have an announcement of a new series coming to Netflix, WWE. I can't remember the name of it now, but it's where you're actually going behind the scenes and seeing how they put together storylines. They're really pulling back the curtain on this one even more. So if you have Netflix and enjoying Netflix, or, WWE on Netflix, you're about to get more, and you're about to. From what it looks like, they were showing how they're going to get the Jey Uso storyline to WrestleMania and everything. So I think what they're going to show is like pre-WrestleMania and how they got to that point for storyline wise.
They probably are just going up to Mania to avoid spoiling anything.
Yeah, they don't want to spoil much of anything. Because of the stuff you've already seen, you get to see behind the scenes. I guess the reason why they're agreeing to that is because they're having so many complaints from fans, like, why don't you do this? Or how come you didn't do this? Or you guys need to be fired because you're not doing this, this, and this. And I think Triple H said, you know what? Screw it. We're going to put a series out to where you all are going to see everything. And if you guys don't agree with it or don't like it, tough. But this is how it is. This is what we do behind the scenes. This is what we do to give you guys entertainment. This is what we do. This is what we do to give you guys your weekly shows, your monthly PLEs, and everything. This is how we do this with the storylines and how this is going to have to go this way or this way. So you get a better understanding of it. I thoroughly am looking forward to it.
Good WrestleMania.
Good. It was a good WrestleMania. I mean, I'm still reeling from that. You had a
Both
few
main events just kind of left us sitting there trying to process it.
Yeah,
Both of them.
both of them. CM Punk
Especially
himself.
that first one.
CM Punk himself, though, said at one point the women's triple threat should have been the main event. CM Punk himself said that.
I don't know much about the placement of matches, so
That hopefully will get explained during the series. Why, the placement of matches. Why can't the title matches go later on and the other ones build up, A lot of storylines that we're going to be keeping up with for you guys. We will be here, and we're about to wrap this up because, about an hour long. You guys got enough of us.
3-minute warning.
3-minute warning. I saw what you did there. 3-minute warning. But you made me lose my train of thought. How dare you? So
I just did that reference.
you understand? You finally understood that reference. So we will be here. Our new format is we will be here after the end of NXT, after the end of Dynamite, at the end of TNA Impact, at the end of SmackDown, and at the end of Collision. We will provide you guys what has happened. We'll do a recap, and then we will also discuss our thoughts on it as fans.
And go over some news.
And go over news, of course. Celebrate historic events, things like that. There's a lot that we're going to be offering you guys. And if you guys want your opinions read on the show, leave a comment on the show. Email us, message us. We'd love to hear from you guys. Get feedback from you guys on what you guys think about the show, what you guys think about professional wrestling, and what you guys think about the episode that we're recapping on of the night. We will put to votes match of the week, match of the month, and match of the year. Chris and I will be the ones only to decide match of the night. We may change that up later on, maybe halfway through. We may just take a vote and comments live from you guys while we're here live to get your guys' ideas on what was match of the night. Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and wrap things up here. We appreciate you guys watching us, our first live podcast. We look forward to talking with you guys tomorrow night. We'll be going over what is going on with the fallout of Stand and Deliver on NXT.
That's right, they had that too.
A lot of interesting matches happen there that we'll go over tomorrow as well. All right. So, for the Cross Promo Pro Wrestling Podcast, I'm Kevin.
I'm Chris.
And
we
gone.